Seriously? It seems that he enjoys getting slapped because he's decided to step in a ring with a professional boxer called Keishawn Davis. Probably not going too well, is it? Oh, shit. I told you I could chase him, Chad. What I tell you? He's toying with his prey. Is it happy? I have a spare on the logo. Oh. I have a spare on the logo. Yeah. Oh. He himself over. Can hit him when he wants. Nice body shot. Like a nice body shot. Oh! Chat, body shot, chat! Chat, body shot! Yeah! He ain't even trying. Oh, you cheeky bastard. Should have thrown him down. Open hand for you, chat. Over there, that's the coach. He's tired now. You're used to it, man. Chat, he look tired, Chat. I see in his eyes. He's tired. Come on, show me something. Why you on the ropes, man? Come here. Come here. 13. Yeah. Look, every single one. There's levels to this shit. He's just playing. So good. You can tell he's busting up. I know his eyes are watering under that fucking helmet. I know this. I'll fight you on the inside. You don't gotta chase me. Right here. That's cool. I thought we was on the Shakur. What's the Shakur? We go around this bitch. He keeps clowning the Shakur stance. So he's clowning him for that. This boy's dodging into the punches. He's talking about 2 more rounds. He don't want to do no more. That is probably the least humiliating thing that this guy's done, getting in the ring with a top-level boxer. Even if Keishawn Davis went easy with him, still takes the balls. He took a few hits. Lucky you weren't fighting someone like Sean Strickland. Now, once I finished recording this video, I saw that the rapper Blueface also decided to step in the ring with this boxer, and it ended more or less the same way. This is like a new way for boxers to promote themselves, just beat the shit out of influencers, and I don't hate it, to be honest.
Prison guard for Jeffrey Epstein Googled just minutes before. Wait, what the? A prison guard for Jeffrey Epstein Googled him just minutes before he was found deceased and made a mysterious $5,000 cash deposit 10 days before Epstein's death. Tova Noel was previously accused of falsifying records. Her charges were later dropped. Noel made multiple suspicious Google searches less than an hour before Epstein was found deceased. Latest on Epstein in jail at 5:42 a.m., then again at 5:52 a.m., less than 40 minutes before her colleague found the disgraced financier in his cell by 6:30. The outlet also reports the Chase Bank had flagged cash deposits to the FBI in November 2019. So this is an old video from 6 years ago. Epstein jail guards charged with falsifying records.
Prison guards are under arrest, charged in connection with the death of accused sexual predator Jeffrey Epstein. Federal prosecutors say Michael Thomas and Tova Noel failed to make mandated cell checks and then falsified records on the night Epstein reportedly killed himself. Surveillance video shows no one entered the special housing unit that night, and no one checked on Epstein over the course of 8 hours.
Yeah, because he was on suicide watch, right?
Just 15 feet away from the guard's desk.
So they didn't check on him at all for 8 hours, even though they were 15.
Just 15 feet away.
15 feet away. So, like, literally, like, on the other side of the room. She Googled the guy, but she didn't even look in to see whether he was okay or not. Inmate says guards discussed cover-up. What? So apparently this just happened now. Like, it literally just came out. It was 6 hours ago.
A newly surfaced document published in the DOJ's Epstein database reveals that an inmate once told the FBI that he overheard prison guards talking about covering up Epstein's death on the morning the sex offender died. The document includes 5 handwritten pages of notes from the unidentified inmate's FBI interview. The whole wing, as I understand it, overheard this exchange among guards.
Well, this particular inmate said he woke up to the yelling and the screaming. He told the FBI that he heard them say something to the effect of, "Dudes, you killed this dude. You killed him." And then another female guard saying, "Well, we don't have to worry about this because we're going to cover it up and my guys are going to have an alibi."
Dude, that's like, there's no way. That's too good. Like, are you kidding me? And there's no, is there no audio of this at all?
I mean, the DOJ investigators actually did some work on her finances, got her banking statements, and you can see them in the files, and it shows that she had quite a number of cash deposits.
Where'd she get the money from? I mean, don't they have the answer to that? I feel like that's a pretty important question, right?
That's suspicious, and she apparently searched for Epstein. There's all these pieces that don't make sense and have never made sense, going back to the July 23rd when they found him laying on the floor of a cell. His first words when he regained consciousness was, "My cellmate tried to kill me." There's no indication at all that he was suicidal in these
I didn't even know that.
evaluations. So one has to wonder why they didn't investigate. His cellmate was a quadruple killer, by the way, and they believed him when he said that Epstein tried to commit suicide.
So the guy killed 4 people, and then the guards believed him? Like, I mean, wouldn't it just be obvious based off of, like, the marks on his neck and everything? Like, couldn't you just figure this out instantly? And we've got one more part of this. Tova Noel scrubbed from logs. A sudden strange jump occurred. Officer Tova Noel disappears from her desk in a single frame without walking away. What? Oh, man. There's her head right there. Look at that. I think that's pretty fucking weird. She literally just disappeared. She's sitting there, and then she's gone. Man, say you're not suicidal. I'm not. How did I not even know about this? So, who went in there? How did she get the payment? Who was that? There must be a record of this. Like, this isn't, like, fucking 1931, okay? How the fuck could you not figure this out?
I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video, you're probably not watching this on a Tuesday, but it is Taco Tuesday.
Islamic terrorists are living in houses like this while many Americans can't afford rent. So they went and they obviously like stormed these 2 guys' houses, and this is one of the houses. This is a like a $1.7 million basically mansion. I mean, this house is gigantic. This is a huge house.
Good morning. On Saturday, a protest was held outside Gracie Mansion, where I live with my wife, Rama. Neither of us were home at the time. This was a vile protest rooted in white supremacy entitled "Stop the Islamic Takeover of New York City." I'm the first Muslim.
And then somebody who was Islamic threw a bomb at them. But you're not going to mention that.
Of our city.
And I think it's important that he mentions that he's the first Muslim mayor of the city. I think that it's very obvious that there is a certain subset of Muslims that are in America and in Western countries that try to actively downplay any instance of bad behavior that Muslims do, and then immediately play it off like it's something else, or try to cry Islamophobia or some other variation of that. The most ironic and funniest thing about this is that we have a bigger issue with like radical Islam and this terrorism shit than countries in the Middle East do. they're worried about sending their people up to Europe because Europe has more radical people than they have, and they're the Muslim countries. So this entire idea that it's Islamophobic to go after these terrorist people is insane.
Of New York City. I'm the first Muslim mayor of our city.
Yes.
Anti-Muslim bigotry is nothing new to me, nor is it anything new for the 1 million or so Muslim New Yorkers who know this city as our home.
So this is basically what happened: is that somebody did a protest, and then someone else threw a nail bomb into the protest while screaming "Allahu Akbar," and they were inspired by ISIS, which is a Muslim terrorist group. And then the Muslim mayor comes up and he talks about how terrible it is that people don't like Muslims. Can you believe this? And also, if I take a step back, this isn't helping Muslims. It's not. It's just making everything worse. You don't lose anything by condemning people that are openly trying to throw bombs around and speaking in plain English about why they're doing it.
While I found this protest appalling, I will not waver in my belief that it should be allowed
He's
to
defending
happen.
terrorism? Yes.
Ours is a free society where the right to peaceful protest is sacred. It does not belong only to those we agree with. It belongs to everyone.
So you should have just started your speech like that. It would have been fine.
I will defend that right every day that I am mayor, even when those protesting say things that I abhor. Let me also be clear about something else. New York City will never tolerate violence, whether from protests or counter-protests. Many of the counter-protesters met this display of bigotry peacefully, with a vision of a city that is welcoming to all.
Yes.
But a few did not. Two men, Amir Balat and Ibrahim Qayyumi, traveled from Pennsylvania and attempted to bring violence to New York City. They are suspected of coming here to commit an act of terrorism.
Yes.
There is video of these two individuals throwing two devices towards the protest. The police department has determined that these were improvised explosive devices made to injure, maim,
Bombs.
or worse. Thanks to the swift and decisive actions of NYPD officers at the scene, both men were immediately taken into custody.
And you can see how he never even talks at all about the intent or the reason why the bombing happened. He had no problem saying that Jake Lang was a white supremacist that would...
Let's get easy here. Do 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 do.
Even the best poker players in the world only succeed 15% of the time. The river card is a queen for the straight. For Aldemir scores the monster pot. How do these players even last this long?
Don't know.
It's just so sick. Amateurs and elite poker players from all over the globe fill the streets in Las Vegas for one of poker's biggest events of the year, the WSOP. Now, I wouldn't consider myself elite by any means, but my goal for these next few weeks is to get as close to that level as possible. I'm going to be playing in 100 poker tournaments to show you the ups, the downs, and everything in between. And maybe, just maybe, we will find a way to win. This might be the most difficult challenge to date. You'll watch me have the highest of highs while also experiencing the lowest of emotions. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I think I just quit poker. It's been a fun, painful career. It's time to see what we're made of starting things off. Everyone here behind me is playing $10,000 buy-in. We're going to go through the entire challenge. Not playing for 10K, which is very, very expensive, but we're starting off with a bang with a very large buy-in. Let's go. I didn't think I was actually just going to last one hand. Literally my first deal. I guess we're going to go in for bullet 2. It's going to be a really expensive 100 bullets if this just keeps adding up. Alright, we got our seat. Alright, very painful day one. Minus $20,000, minus 2 bullets. It's going to be a long challenge, but 98 tournaments more to go. Conveniently, I hopped into this tournament. $888 buy-in. It's not over yet. So I'm playing this tournament while walking this trip for some reason. I don't know what my life has come to. And we've officially made the money. So with 120 players left. So we're here at an In-N-Out. And I have aces. Oh my god, he went all in. Oh, we're up against nines. No 9. No 9. Let's go. 52 big blinds. 88 players left. There's life. Another all-in. Ready to win this tournament, please, with 70 players left. 35 players left. Oh, yeah, this is for sure all-in situation. Fold. Fold. No, we're going to need to hit some spades. Ace. Spade. Dead. Out for 27.96. So it's our first official cash. That's the end of bullet 3 and end of day 1 of this challenge. Good morning, everyone. Every single morning, I do this cold plunge. As a little morning ritual, I need to play 3.3 bullets every single day to hit my target. So today, on the docket, is a $1,500 six max. After the $1,500, I think there is a $1,100 buy-in at the win. And the best of it is that I'm giving a 1% free roll for anybody who plays on Club WPT Gold using code RAMPAGE. Let's go play some tournaments. We're in for the $1,500 six max. On the fire table and see who we're up against. Unbelievable. Bullet number 2 incoming, I guess. That is actually unbelievable. Wow. I'm about to fire another entrant and get rewarded with aces. And even better, the flop comes ace high. It's a massive cooler as my opponent has ace king, flopping 2 pair, and then immediately I pick up pocket tens and I'm all in against ace king. This is another flip that goes my way, and suddenly I've got mountains of chips in the early going. Okay, we're ending off the first break as the color-up person. Bullet number 2 going much better than the first one, obviously. So I'm going to play another one on the run. Oh, I hit a 7. Oh, that's so great. Look at this guy. I have to deal with him now. I'm currently in the money now of this $320 circuit ring event. I'm dead, Martin. 22, 11, 42. 100,000 chips going into 3K big blinds. We got 30 big blinds to drink. Wow. It's very good play. Oh no, it's very bad play. I just don't think I can win. I just busted both tournaments in literally like within 2 minutes of each other. And the ace-9 one just kind of broke my spirit. That's day 2. Many bullets in.
I just cashed this for 3K, so got a min cash, and then I just got 15th in the ring event for like 2K. Getting me a detail, getting me the cold plunge tomorrow. This was very, very painful. All right, ready to go. Oh my god. Oh, now I'm caught. I'm a mess this morning. This is a bad omen for the 2K today. There's also a very fun online event happening, $1,000 bracelet event and a $1,000 ring event. So gonna have 3 tournaments, 3 bullets at the same time, and $4,000 in action today. 3 hours into the WSOP $2,000 buy-in, I'm all in with Ace 9 and get called by Jesse Lonus's pocket 7s. We spike at 9 and stay alive. You did say you were going to give me chips. Then we pick up a crucial hand here with King 8 and River 8 full house in this massive 3-way all-in pot. We're on dinner break. Another lovely start. Not so lovely online, though, as I'm in for 2 bullets of each tournament. So 5 bullets in total today.
All right, so this Steve-O story, as I mentioned at the top, Steve-O and his partner Scott Randolph, Steve-O's podcast, but Scott was his partner. They sort of set the business up together, and they split up about 2 years ago. And like a lot of these things, Scott just didn't show up at the next podcast, and his name was never uttered again. And so people kind of wonder what happened to Scott. And so Scott, in the middle of Steve-O being in all this terrible trouble for saying that illegal immigrants are mostly murderers to Harlan Williams, and then saying, "Oh, I was just kidding, and I can't believe people believe this." And during this very difficult time, his former partner called him up and said, "I know you're not a racist." And Steve-O was very moved by this, and it led to this reunion, and they did a reunion show where they fleshed out what went wrong. Because as we know from his appearance on the Joe Rogan show, he said, 2022 was the peak of my career, which seemed way off. It seemed like his peak was way before that, but surprised by that, yeah. What I've learned is that everything is graded by how much money you make. So that was the most money he made in 2022.
Oh, that's exciting.
And then it just, poof, it just kind of disappeared in 23 and 24, and he thought that everyone hates him now. They love him so much.
Because he's not making money.
Right, because he's not making money. And then he won the Mr. Beast Celebrity Challenge, and he thought, it's gonna jumpstart my career. All my merch is gonna start selling again. And it didn't do a thing.
So he's basing his success on merch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
He talks about merch a lot, and in fact, his audience was so sick of hearing about merch because he has commercials, and he runs full commercials in the show about his merch, how to get his merch, how to get his butt wipes, how to get his hot sauce, how to get his bottle openers, how to get his stickers, how to get, it's like his sticker pack, his crash and burn t-shirts, his regular t-shirts, his hoodies and zips, his Yeah Dude sunglasses, his book signed. It's quite an operation. There are quite a few options in the merch department. So anyway, they put this all together. They get Scott in the room, and they've got one of the longtime other people in the show. They've all worked together, and they're really sort of pleased to be together, and they're trying to flesh out what the hell happened, kind of for the audience. So,
what is it? I'm sorry, I just saw his site.
Oh, you're looking at Steve-O's merch?
Yes.
Yeah, those are 2 of his books. He actually has 2 books to sell you.
4 flavors of hot sauce.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Scroll down. What else is up there? Is he still selling the butt wipe? Oh, there they are.
The
bottle opener, and it's his butt.
Yeah, that's the bottle opener.
Cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't think he sells the butt wipes anymore. Actually, this is a pared down version because stuff stopped selling. The miracle of 2022 when everyone had COVID money and interest rates were low and all they could think to do was to spend money on Steve-O merch.
I mean, when people lost their jobs and businesses, is that what he calls COVID money? Yeah, when everybody was
was rich from the thing that shut down society.
People just couldn't wait. They suddenly had money to spend on Steve-O. And they did. He had this incredible year, and he had this partner, Scott. And Scott's deal was that Scott got like a percentage of the merch. Scott had been with him from 2014. Scott would set up the merch table. Scott would bring suitcases of merch on the road, and he would sell it all, and he would get a percentage. Then he got a percentage of the hot sauce. Then he got a percentage of the concert tickets, and he got a percentage of the podcast revenue. So this is really kind of what caused the problem, because eventually, well, you'll hear it. This is a kind of a kooky story. It's pretty unusual. I don't think there are many quote unquote comedians telling a story like this. During the pandemic in Cut One, Steve-O, really, it's all about the merch and growing his business.
What we did during the pandemic, we adapted and we became way more sophisticated in the online merch business.
And podcasting.
And we started podcasting. So during the pandemic, we started selling merch online.
What's that?
Which he didn't even mention the
No,
podcast.
that's what I was laughing at. The guy goes, "Oh yeah, we podcasted like that. That's what drives the merch."
Remember that thing?
Yeah, that we're doing right now.
You shouldn't just say merch.
Yeah.
It's really, I've never heard anyone at this level of entertainment that talked about merch so much.
You know, merch is really something that a road comic who doesn't make a lot of money drags along.
Yeah, Jackie the Joke Man.
Right, we'll have merch or somebody who you need it. It shouldn't be. It should just be something that's not even supplements, but just gives you something, or you can have a token of what they have.
Maybe mention it once in a while, or maybe there's a period when it's brand new, or you talk about it for a month or something, and then you don't talk about it. But apparently, he did never stop talking about it to the point that the audience was going crazy. But let him finish telling you how he put this up.
During the pandemic, we started selling merch online so effectively that we were like, why would we pay all this money to a third-party fulfillment warehouse operation? You know, why shouldn't we just get our own warehouse? We're like, all right. So we start renting a warehouse, staff the warehouse, and we're killing it so much, we got another warehouse. Now we got two warehouses.
And you have a movie coming out.
I had a movie
driving traffic to all engines.
And it was by this point no longer just me and you. Mm-hmm. Now all of a sudden we've got the warehouse staff, we've got the touring crew, we've got the tour bus, you know, some editors, you know, like team of editors, like all this
overhead. All this overhead. That's what you have.
That's why those third-party companies exist.
do, do. Boop 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 boop.
Certainly the coolest. Ladies and gentlemen, big brain owner of everything DB, good D, bad D, there's JLBlades here. D Butler. He's talking about the Carolina Panthers and what they did with the odds. Anything surprise you yesterday? And what are your thoughts on what happens today? Day 2 of money bags being thrown around.
I'm surprised the Panthers didn't jump a little higher. I would like them as a favorite. Obviously, they won last year, and I love what Young is doing. We always talk about they weren't going to give him the money he deserves. I love to see Dan Morgan up there in Carolina. He's really
yeah, they certainly are. And obviously, it's not just us here. We're incredibly lucky that a lot of ESPN icons have taken a trip out here to beautiful Indianapolis, Indiana for this free agency frenzy celebration. Let's head over to the free agency fun zone with JLBlades and Orlovsky. Boys, it's great to see you. It was nice having dinner with you last night. We appreciate your company and your aura. You guys killed it yesterday. Great to see you day 2. Schrags, he just mentioned Jalen Phillips right there. He wasn't the only Eagle that disappeared yesterday, Schrags.
Yeah, the Philadelphia Eagles lost quite a
You're
bit.
you're good.
Oh, we good. They lost quite a bit of talent yesterday in free agency. N'Kobe Dean, Jalen Phillips, obviously Reed Blankenship, and the receiver Jahan Dotson. I got Eagles fans all over my timeline, all over my phone saying, "What are we doing? What are we?" Calm down, deep breath. March and April is what we call Howie season. Howie Roseman, the best general manager in football, season SZN. Remember, they have to eventually get new deals done for Cooper DeJean and Quinion Mitchell and Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter. And oh, by the way, there might be some moves in their holster. So Philadelphia Eagles fans, I know it feels like a crazy offseason of departures with Jeff Stoutland and, of course, all these players. Remember last year, you lost Morgan Williams, you lost Josh Sweat, you still have one of the top defenses in the league. This is part of being a football team. When you're really good, you draft really well, there will be teams that come poaching and raiding and taking. Trust your general manager. It is Howie season.
If you win, there's enough to go around, they say. And before we get to you, Dano, we do have to have a man in the silence. I don't like that we're doing it. The exciting whites took over football for a bit. Had no idea that 2 Caucasoids could do that at those positions in the NFL. People would get them confused. Hey, white guy playing position you're not supposed to play. How's it going? And white guy would have to say, this is the other one guy. Now we'll never get to hear the exciting whites of the exciting whites continue because one of the whites is leaving town. Rest easy too, the exciting whites. And we, and I personally would like to thank you guys for your service to football. Broke down the wall bears. One of them made the whole everything TV team.
Yeah. So Jackie Robinson.
Is that going to be the only time ever?
No, you got one in the draft.
Oh, look what these exciting whites did. It's over now because $24.75 million was sent to the NFL. Like you say, congratulations on that.
Love you guys. Never forget you.
Okay, Dana, let's get back to you now. What's your kind of thoughts as we hit day 2 of free agency frenzy here, Dan Orlovsky? We'll never see.
How do you follow that? I don't know.
You just turned your mic off, I think. I think you just turned your microphone off. I think you just you just turned it off, I think. I think you clearly pushed the button to turn it off. It's on now? It's on now?
It's been on the whole time. Doesn't Oregon have Finneman, Dylan?
Yeah,
Finneman.
That's the potential first rounder.
All right, so there's hope. There's hope.
They're saying handheld, he was 4-1.
What?
That's what they said.
Check has got receipts.
That's what they said. We're all surprised. I wanted to know. Go lightning, you're burning out of this track. Sorry, Dano. Today, though, big day for agency frenzy, more money and thoughts like that. Anything tying in from yesterday or today for you as you have to follow all that stuff?
I would be very much so looking forward to seeing today where Hendrickson lands. For Hendrickson, I don't think that hitting into just some of the obvious teams is necessarily the right way to go. I think that there's teams that just could be lurking out there, that Chicago Bears, the Buffalo Bills, the Rams, the Eagles, because they obviously lose Jalen Phillips. So, like, where Hendrickson goes, and I'm surprised that Romeo Doubs, the Packers receiver, hasn't gone yet. I think Romeo Doubs is a absolute number one wide receiver. He's not in that number one elite group. Yeah, but a whole guy that you can like put out by himself and go win on routes. And so, I would love for him to stay in Green Bay for their offense, but if you're New England, it's like, man, how do we not try to find a way to get Romeo Doubs into his offense? Because I think passing wise is awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate all of those thoughts, and I think today is going to be active. We still think today is going to be active. Dobbs would certainly get some dubs some places, and who knows what the market is for all parties that are still available after the first wave of free agency. Guys, a lot of punters getting money early.
That's right.
Need to get a punter, need to get a punter. Let's go ahead and talk about the massive amount of money that was actually spent yesterday. $2.8647 billion in contracts yesterday. Top 5 spenders. Shout to the Panthers down there. 172.5 million. And the Saints making plays. They're at 193 or 192.5 million, depending upon where you read at. They have real contracts now.
That's right. They do.
They are now at the point of kicking can down the road, now no longer having a road to kick it down. These deals have to live where they have to live. So congrats to everybody that got paid yesterday by them. They're expecting you to be really good. And also, Shuck, you're going to have to do this. Commanders, $209 million. Wow. What a day. Tennessee Titans were gone. We got a lot of money. We're going to have to spend it. Bob Sala's happy about that. And then the Las Vegas Raiders, $281 million plus yesterday in full contract. They're certainly undergoing a brand new era. Tom Brady maybe a little bit more informal. And Fernando Mendoza at the helm. Let's head into the man who broke all the news yesterday, senior NFL insider for ESPN, Michigan man, and maybe a little bit more on all these deals, Adam Schefter. I like you got a little air in there, Schefter. Door open. Smart.
It's an honor to be back in the Thunderdome for a second day on the Nightline set here in the corner room. Love being here. And yes, the room is cooler. The Wi-Fi seems to be working better. And we're going to have some action today, pal. We've got some names still available. Wouldn't be a surprise. We saw a Romeo Doubs deal done during the course of this show. We've got Rasheed Walker still out there. Levon Casey still out there. We've got Chig Okonkwo, the tight end, Reek Rowling, the cornerback, Leo Chanel, Braden Smith, Jawan Jennings, Wyatt Teller, a lot of good players. The cornerbacks, we would expect movement, but not yet, because neither Kyler Murray nor Geno Smith officially have been released from their teams. So they are not allowed to do anything during this time right now, and they can't until they are released. Obviously, people waiting on Minnesota to see the Vikings and Kyler Murray. We'll see if that happens. Geno Smith, we'll see what happens once the Raiders release him.
Okay, so Schefter, explain a little bit more about the Kyler Murray Wednesday thing. I know the new league year is then, but everybody's acting as if their contracts are up right now. Why is it such a big deal with Kyler that he has to get released? Are they waiting to trade him still? Or are they hoping somebody wants to? Like, why is this still happening?
He has, I think it's a $16 million bonus that's due on the 3rd or 4th or 5th day of the league year. The Cardinals are not going to allow that day to come to where they have to put more money into Kyler. So they can wait as long as they want up until that point, and they have not released him, but they will and are expected to release him before that happens. Now, the new league year begins.
I'm so confused.
Why is that confusing?
Why don't they just release him? I don't think I understand what's going on, because they just screwed him, basically. Yesterday, potentially Miami. What if Miami was interested, or Atlanta was interested, or anything like that? This is strictly just to hold on to hope that he gets traded, or
in the event that somebody happens to step forward, what's the difference in their minds if they release him today, tomorrow, or Thursday? Like,
They don't know that they might not get a call from some. Hey, we'll give you a 5th round pick for Kyler Murray. All right, now is that going to happen? No, but they're holding on to him until then, and then they'll release him, and then of course Minnesota. We'll see again if that happens with the Vikings.
Do they know that that's not going to happen over there, or are they holding out hope that somebody will get super desperate in one of these quarterback-needy teams?
You never know how the league operates. They're not expecting it. They're not counting on it, but you never know. It's a 1 in a million shot, but it's not costing them anything to hold on to him for another day or two. Well, they don't feel like they owe Kyler Murray anything. They paid him all these millions of dollars anyway. What's the difference?
Yeah, agreed, I guess. And they're also going to be paying him in the future, which is why teams are going to be able to only have to pay him like $1 million, like what Russell Wilson did in Pittsburgh.
They're paying him $36.8 million this year. They can hold on to him up until the deadline if they want before they move on from him, which they will.
Okay, so all right, so they're going to do that just in case. You never know what's going to take place. And also, yeah, we get the final say in this entire. Yeah, it would have been nice being that first wave, huh? Some other teams would have had a really nice setup knowing that Kyler Murray is their quarterback while they're pitching other free agents to potentially come join their team. We all assume that he's going to Minnesota.
Well, I think that's the logical landing spot. Now we'll see what happens. You don't know what other teams could step in, but yeah, if I were betting today, I would bet Minnesota.
Okay, that's a fascinating situation. We appreciate you, Shefty. We'll continue to follow along with your Twitter account, and maybe we get a glass break.
Oh.
Maybe we get a Shefty tweet. What a time yesterday.
I know. So fun.
It was a good time. I really enjoyed yesterday. I also enjoyed, obviously, the boys in studio. We mentioned it there at the top. There were some big spenders and $2.8 billion in contracts given out. The Raiders kind of go ahead and go for it. And they had a lot of money. Obviously, they made more money after they move on from Max Crosby, who's now a member of the Baltimore Ravens, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
And is Lamar Jackson going to beat Dan Orlovsky's ass?
I think so. I think so. Yesterday was kind of the last straw.
Dano, have we gotten a read on what those emojis were? Have we gotten a read on what that smoke meant? Is that him wanting to smoke with you? Have you got any messaging from anybody?
No, I haven't. I hope not. I want no beef with Lamar or any NFL player.
Yeah, but maybe smoke with Lamar. Though.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You wouldn't mind doing that, right? That's kind of your thing.
Good for the socials. No, I don't. I married a girl that maybe has that as a little bit in her past, but I don't necessarily.
What? Out
She,
your wife.
yeah, she certainly is cannabis.
Her mom's a parrot. Her mom is a Jimmy Buffett.
She's a so she wants fins to the left, fins to the right. Yeah. I understand what's going on. We're having a good time. I think Lamar Jackson is sick of your shit.
I think so.
I don't know. I don't have a good read on it. I don't know what the emojis are. And once again, Lamar Jackson, one of the greatest emoji users in the history of the app.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Okay, we all know that.
Yeah. Buddy.
We all have.
Yeah, I got
know. So him kind of toying with you right now. Fantastic news. We appreciate you, Dano. Kyler Murray though with the Vikings, Dan. Feels like a natural fit. Feels like the only fit. You think they're just waiting for him? Is that kind of what their mode is?
Yeah. I also have learned that when Shefty kind of says something, he's not just saying it. Like, he's always leaving tea leaves and breadcrumbs around. So I don't necessarily think it's a locked natural fit though. I would say this in Minnesota's offense, they just want the quarterback to play point guard and allow the offense, the play caller Kevin O'Connell, to star. I think that Kyler is such a dynamic player and dynamic athlete that he naturally wants to be the star. And so trying to fit that, trying to fit that kind of style of play into that offense is going to take some time. I do think that Kyler is really good in the play action game, the movement game. He obviously has plays like this where he could just make something out of nothing. So that's a plus. But in this offense that originated years ago with Mike Shanahan and then with Gary Kubiak and then Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay, it's always been an offense that has elevated quarterbacks specifically that maybe aren't the most physically gifted guys as far as like athlete, run around, make a play, big arm guy. It's always elevated those guys, a lot like a Sam Darnold. And Kyler hasn't necessarily needed that style of offense. So I think Kyler, it'll take some time for him to have the discipline to play in that offense.
Yeah, the mental acceptance, if you will. Maybe getting cut from a team, though, while they're holding you up is a moment that he can maybe have that process of just saying, hey, let me buy into what this guy's pitching and I can kind of cook. Do you think they started doing that type of offense because there was a drop-off in quarterback play? And they're like, hey, if we have the system and we just get a guy that can throw a football, which we know every year there's going to be a guy that can throw a football, we should be able to have success consistently. Like while you talk about it, I hear you thinking to yourself, I wish I was in one of these offenses.
I was.
0-16?
No, that offense. Houston. I was in Houston, but Shabby started every game when I was there.
Oh, was that the pick six machine?
Yeah. That was after I left Houston. But
Yeah, he threw like 8 straight games to pick six.
he was in his like 20th
Remarkable.
year.
He was so good. I mean, he was unbelievable. Let's not talk about. I mean, it's hard to throw that many as well. I did that. Yeah, he's a stud. I'm not saying. So you're down there with Shabby, got it. So you've been in that offense. You loved it. That was where you're supposed to be. You think?
Yeah, I mean that's where I feel.
Oh, that's why he hates on all these.
Makes sense.
If Mac Jones was in Brock Purdy, you remember this is the whole Sam Darnold guy who can't really. That's why, because he thinks to himself, man, could you imagine George Floyd?
Yes, he's right. Would have won MVP.
Yeah, he might have.
Oh my God, is that it, Dano? Is that you? That offense?
No, I just think the offense is awesome for quarterbacks.
Okay.
Sure.
You would be great in there too, though, right? You would be.
I wouldn't have been nearly as good as the guys that are doing it.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I like that.
Very humble. Did you see him taking credit for?
You were physically talented, brother. We watched you do the quarterback carousel down at the
Yeah,
Pro Bowl.
that's right.
Showed up and dominated. It was nice to see that, Dano. Oh, now we're losing it. You're doing something with that mic. You need to stop it. Okay, speaking of, Kyler Murray's going to the Vikings, maybe, says Dano. Might not be an absolutely perfect fit, but they'll have to wait, I guess, for the Cardinals to decide when they can let him go. There's also plenty of other free agents that could sign today that we'd say, wow, didn't know that person was available, or wow, didn't know they were going for that much. Let's talk about not knowing somebody was going for that much. $30 million a year to a center is quite a message from a franchise. The Las Vegas Raiders sent a huge one in signing Linderbaum, and they weren't done there. They continued to spend. What are your thoughts on what the Raiders did, D-Bud? And if you're Fernando Mendoza and you're the fan of the Raiders, maybe, it's hard not to just buy in and be like, maybe we do have the pieces. I already got Brock. I already got Ashton. I assume there's a lot of dogs on the defense that we don't talk about because we only can talk about Max Crosby because how damn good Max Crosby is. Are the Raiders about to have a little bit of a, we're an actual football team time in their life, you think?
Yeah, you look at this graphic and all up there, all the way from left to right, it's a bunch of pros, good pros, not only on the field, but off the field, in the locker room. These are guys that are respected and been respected by their teammates. And you talk about Linderbaum. So you're shoring up the interior of that pocket for who we assume to be Fernando Mendoza at, whichever inevitable point he jumps up to the top of Dano's board. I think he'll be the #1 pick in the draft to go to Vegas. So you shore up that interior of the offensive line. You help out your running game, obviously. Kwity Paye, first-round pick here. Didn't quite pan out how we thought he would, but definitely still a high ceiling from him. Quay Walker and Dean, you sure up the linebacker core right there. Terry Johnson, A-Rod was on here when we talked to him. He mentioned him being one of the best football players in the league, and he allows you to play a little more nickel than a lot of teams do. So all these signings have been great right now. You got to win in March, then you obviously have to win in the draft if you want to be a competitor once the season comes.
I love that they're spending. They have to spend now with the way our market is, with the way the NFL operates. There is a floor and there is a top, and they had a shit ton that they had to spend. But it feels like they're making the right decisions, and it's not just the cap that they're able to move. They're set up pretty well for the draft. What is this with the Raiders? The Raiders had a bunch of money for free agency, seemingly made good moves, even paid somebody a brand new $30 million that nobody expected for a center position. I mean, I think it was like $12 million more than the next closest interior offensive lineman. So I mean, that's a huge jump for whenever you talk about a position getting paid. But if you need it and it's going to make you win, we're for it. I think that's the difference between us and people that analyze all of the salaries and numbers and everything. We're a big like, hey, if it's going to win you a game, what's the purpose?
Yeah.
None of the money matters.
Protections.
If you're
rookie quarterback, like
everything.
Protections. Like,
$30 million they overpaid for him. It's like, we don't know that. We have no idea if they overpaid for it or not. If he ends up being the glue that pulls together an offensive line that can protect Fernando Mendoza and block for Ashton Genty, it's like all of a sudden you feel like you got the offense figured out. Then on defensive side, you're going to have to make some plays. Well, bring in some vets over there on that side that have made plays as well. And then you think about free agency being good to them. It's not just that. They got draft season coming in. They got some real stuff to them.
Yeah, they have 11 draft picks in this upcoming draft. 2 in the first round thanks to the Max Crosby trade, and then 2 in the first round next season. So that's 4 first-round picks in the next 2 years. So you can either take 4 really good players or package those to move up.
Oh, we're bundling.
You could bundle. I mean, what happened a few years ago? The Texans bundled. They did the thing. They get C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson. It turned that entire. Remember how shitty the Texans were before that?
Oh my God!
On fire.
They're a trash house.
Yeah, I mean
filled with ass and shite.
We've seen it happen a lot recently. I mean, you get Burrow and the Bengals turn around. You get Patriots. What happened with the Patriots? Like the Raiders fans should feel really good and optimistic right now.
I feel really good for them because Las Vegas, obviously, good home for football, good home for the NFL. Feels like their stadium is sweet. We obviously like making trips to play. And if their team's good, first time, long time, that'd be great for them. Will suck for Max Crosby.
No doubt. Yeah. Oh.
But he'll say he contributed because obviously the picks and the money that he was able to get, was he a part of it. But it's like, it does feel like we're entering a new era of this. Not that they haven't been used that before, but they are entering a new era that looks like it's going to have a good chance in this entire thing.
Well, and the pieces, like the quarterback Tony mentioned with Drake May and Joe Burrow, like even those teams missed pieces. The Patriots O-line needed time. The Bengals O-line still needs time. But you mentioned Linderbaum. Their left tackle, Colton Miller, he's been kind of a stalwart staple there for a little bit. One of those guys, kind of the offensive Max Crosby, if you will. He's just been solid. Nobody really, talks about him. Never really seen him in a big moment. And then you think about like a wide receiver one. Sure, they're not a wide receiver one, but Brock Bowers, I mean, he's already caught 100 balls damn near in the season, so that'd be unbelievable. I'm not so sure Tom Brady hired Pete Carroll on purpose to take the team. I'm damn near thinking now, at this moment in time, Brady brought in Pete Carroll like, hey, this guy's going to run our franchise into the ground, and then we're going to get the first pick.
Hey, that's close Sicilian there. That's Queen's
yeah.
Gambit. Boom, boom, boom. Tom Brady might do it, especially with those glasses. We're seeing him in glasses a lot.
Yeah, tinted, but not too tinted, though.
Yeah, like cool. You know, a lot of this one right
like
here.
Bradley Cooper and War Dog.
Yeah, and I would like to let him know, hey, Tom, get good, dude.
Looks good, Tommy.
I saw snapping cards, breaking
packs.
breaking cards at the UFC thing. It's like, live your life, Tom. Live your life. Tom's playing flag football in America now.
Yeah.
What? Bet he's pumped.
Yeah, smart.
He's playing flag football in America.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, he's taking it serious.
He better be.
What is your problem?
No,
Why are you laughing like that?
I read the same. I read the same thing. I hadn't visualized, him taking a couple dropbacks until right then. I was like, wow,
well,
that's Tommy.
He's owning an NFL team, so obviously he's dialed in. Let's head over to the free agency fun zone. Schrags, the Raiders want the town. They want Ham. Did we expect that yesterday? What team surprised you most?
We did. The Raiders, they spent a lot of money, and I get a little prickly when people say, well, they overpaid for the center, Linderbaum, and it's like, no, that's the tax you have to pay when you're a crappy team. I call it the crappy team tax. And for years, the Jacksonville Jaguars had to overpay to bring guys in. And guess what? Linderbaum wasn't leaving Baltimore for $1 million more. There's a guy from Solon, Iowa. Ty, am I saying that right? Solon, Iowa, who lived on a farm in Iowa and then comes to Baltimore. He's not going to Sin City for the same amount of money to play for the decrepit Raiders. No, you have to pay more, and that's what they did. And Spytech had the assets. And he does it. I also want to clarify it's Linderbaum, not my people, Linderbaum. Is that right? Are we okay with that?
That is correct.
Okay. There's a lot of Linderbaums.
Okay, it's Linderbaum. So,
Okay.
That said, this is a bunch of pros. D-Bud said it best. You pay because you have to bring in actual professionals. And last year they were a patchwork team with guys like Devin White and Jamal Adams and Eric Stokes. And these are guys who were veterans, but guys who were kind of castaways from other teams. Now, these are players that other teams wanted, and they're choosing to go to Vegas. I find it fascinating that they did spend that much money. As Adam Schefter said yesterday, the most money ever paid to an interior offensive lineman. It's to a guy that the Baltimore Ravens did not pick up a fifth-year option less than a year ago. But they value what that is, and in Rick Dennison's offensive line room, and when you talk about Clint Kubiak and what they do with the running game, center is an important piece.
Agreed.
Essentially, it's Crosby for Linderbaum and a bunch of different guaranteed money that goes both ways, and we'll see where chips fall, but they're going to get Fernando Mendoza, an all-world center, and they did. And yes, they paid a lot. Don't tell me they overpaid. That's the tax when you're a crummy team.
Fernando Mendoza, good call. Go ahead, Dan.
Fernando.
Tell me how perfect Fernando Mendoza is for the Las Vegas Raiders, and why you love him as the #1 overall pick. And while you are watching the entirety of the college football season, not just the first 4 games. Listen, I got through 4 games. I watched 7 and 9 NFL games on Monday morning before I get on Get Up, because that is what it is tasked to me. Going through the draft process, but I've been able to see 8 of Fernando. But what you have seen of Fernando thus far, I think you got to the Big Ten championship game now.
The Big Ten title game, yes.
I know those college football games are a little slower than these NFL games you're able to watch overnight, but I understand what you're saying. I completely agree with that. But with what Fernando is as a player from what you've learned thus far, what do you like about what Las Vegas has done with the Raiders, and why do you think there is a chance for immediate success maybe over there, Dano, for a rookie quarterback?
Yeah, so first I want to touch on the Raiders element, and mainly Linderbaum and Jalen Naylor, okay? One, Linderbaum in this style of
Girlfriend cheated on you? Yes! Another better one is coming. If not one, 10. If not 10, 1,000. You crash your car? Yes! Great. A better one is coming.
Look, I hate to be the one to have to tell you this, but your son's been in a terrible motorcycle accident.
Oh my god, how is he?
I'm sorry to say it, but unfortunately he's dead.
Yes! And what is it, Christmas? Oh, result.
No, you don't understand, because a better one is coming. If not one, then 10, so...
Doctor told me I've got 2 weeks to live. Yes! Great. Sugar is literally the root of all evil. I stay away from sugar at all costs. What's that? It's got foam and it's a double espresso shot. It's not a sugar-free latte. No lattes here. They're all double espressos. What a fucking bellend, man.
When I tell you let's go take a walk, somebody's coming back not walking. At a very young age, I know it was special.
My mother used to find me in cemeteries.
I used to speak to the dead. I used to see ghosts. Used to have conversations with them.
Those poor fucking ghosts, man. Give them a break. Haven't they been
through enough? So he was a monk, mafia, talk to the dead, family of King Solomon. What's next? New Jesus.
As a child, I was literally diagnosed as
Somebody that's fearless.
Yeah. I felt like I was a god on this planet.
Yeah, but it's because some people are literally born with some type of temperament inside of them that makes other people
Scared. This guy is fucking rich.
Parents would constantly find me at the highest places. Highest building, tallest buildings, looking down, tallest trees. I climb everything.
Right.
Climbs tall trees now and stuff.
Diagnosed as fearless.
Scary, man, and so sick as well.
Yeah, I worked in counterterrorism for over a decade. I'm not allowed to even speak about what unit I was in, things like that, for the next 5 years. I can't share it with anybody. But
Now that's where I'm calling bullshit. That's fine. Nobody cares.
it's convenient that you can't talk about it, so no one can verify. There's units that are called
Invisible units. Wait a minute.
At 17, you were homeless. At 18, 19, you were cleaning carpets. Then you got into telemarketing. Then you went and started doing real estate. You started investing here and there. And that was only 10 years ago. So when was the counterterrorism? And who was it for? The Israeli army?
Yeah, but you can't talk about who. The funniest thing about it is I don't think he's actually joking. I think he's actually being serious. So that's the most average situation bro's in. My IQ is 160.
So we're around 162. Okay? I've checked my IQ levels. Around 162. Some came out to 158. Some 162. So right on those numbers. I'm Moroccan, but then I was like, how could a Moroccan have such high IQ?
I'm also
Part Ukrainian, part Russian, which explains why
the IQ levels are high.
Stop the cap.
I was one of the leading actors,
superstars of the world, like Jean-Claude
Van Damme,
Bruce Lee. I could run off of walls and do flips off of trees. Parkour. I could fight. I could do it all.
You're not done. I just seen this comment. Yeah, he thinks he's this guy. This guy's a beast. Johnny Kim, fought in a war, doctor, worked for NASA. This dickhead thinks he's him.
Oh, you're a nice guy. But you're not speaking to someone
who just let you speak this way, you know.
There's no way he's made some corny slow motion song to that quote that went viral. Comedy shit nowadays, so you got to get it from somewhere. These guys are actually hilarious.
Very quickly, there's a video that Ali posted a little while ago, and we're gonna play this video very quickly, and we want to get both Ali's and Ben's comments on it. So, Joe, can we play that video very quickly?
Walk like a king, or walk like you don't give a fuck who the king is.
That's the video that they sent me and said that he was speaking personally to me. Was it to me?
No, it wasn't to you. I'll tell you personally right now, I don't give a fuck who you are if you're gonna disrespect my religion. You hear me?
Ali, you're a nice guy. But you're not speaking to somebody that will just let you speak this way, you know?
What the fuck are you gonna do about it? I'm not gonna let you speak to me the way you want to speak to me.
Ali, if you have a personal problem with me, forget religion. Put religion aside.
You know what? this, bro.
Talking about.
Oh, Sigmund Timbers! Shut up, man!
I don't give a who you are.
Ollie, you're a nice guy, but you're not speaking to someone who will let you speak this way, you know?
What the can I do about it?
Ollie! I don't give a who you are. Ollie, you're a nice guy. But you're not speaking to someone who will let you speak like this. You know, what the are you gonna do about it? Now, this.
Hey, Ali, stop. Apologies. I accept.
It's the pictures in the comments, man. They're killing me.
I could kill my wife in 2 seconds. I could hit her as hard as I could in the face and she'd die. Right?
Bare hands. Yeah, bare hands. I could clobber her in the face and she'd die.
Yeah, okay.
Glad we cleared that up. Or whatever.
So you really put a lot of thought into this one, huh?
Who said romance is dead? Look at this guy, husband of the air, plucking all the heartstrings. Romance is...
Someone said, bro, when she takes 3 seconds to die.
If you get caught off and you stop, that's embarrassing for you. But if you keep going, then it becomes embarrassing for them. Especially if it's a dude. I mean, now he's questioning everything about himself. That's what building a personal brand is like. If you stop halfway, you just look pathetic. If you keep going long enough, everyone else gets uncomfortable for even doubting you.
Stop it. Get some help. You have a razor that you use to shave.
Yeah.
If I give it to a child and he cuts his face, who's at fault? Is it the razor or is it the child? It can't be the razor because the razor's just the razor. The razor does what the razor does.
The fuck are you talking about? How are you going to give a razor to a child? I mean, I'm the one who's being ridiculous, I guess, right? Obviously, it's normal to give a razor to a child, and it's their fault if they cut themselves. Irresponsible little fuckers.
Dude, I don't want to be like Ronnie Coleman, who won Mr. Olympia and had all these great achievements, and now the dude can't walk because his legs don't function. Right? That to me is not success. I don't want to live that way.
You know what could it be like Ronnie Coleman, then?
Yeah.
He's always preaching to people to go to the gym every day.
Are you going to the gym every day? No, you're not.
And yet he's afraid to cut himself in case he...
Accidentally wins Mr. Olympia.
Actually, I take it back. If Luke Allen started going to him, he'd be the next Ronnie Coleman.
He'd be black and Jack by next year.
There is nothing like the wrath of the man who never wanted to be violent. Once you take away the person that just wanted to live a normal life, I just wanted to be left alone, I just wanted to be a regular guy.
And once they push the normal person too far, the wrath these people are going to feel is going to be medieval.
All right, Batman, put your mask back on, lad.
I think I'm a good person. Yeah, I got a good heart. But this mouth? I don't know.
I would go to so many parties and I would never drink even once, just water. And the funniest part is all my friends knew that and still loved it about me. So whenever they would call a round of shots, I would always get a shot of water so I didn't feel left out, and we'd all take shots together.
Someone says, I'm feeling spicy tonight. Pass me the sparkling water.
Spicy deep.
Yeah, boy.
Now we have our Candace Owens woe buddy. This is crazy.
Okay.
This
What?
one's gonna blow
Is
even
it?
you away. Are you ready?
God.
This is
How? Okay.
retard shit.
Okay.
Retard max. Get
Okay,
ready.
Okay. There you go.
Tell you guys something before we get into comments, because I need to know that I'm not the only person who didn't know this. Okay, I didn't know this, but also Savannah didn't know this, so at least 2 of us didn't know this. I was on a walk with my husband, and it was thundering, I think,
And I was like, oh, no big deal. We can keep walking because there's no lightning. And he was like, what do you mean by that? And I said, like, it's just thunder. Lightning is the problem. And then my husband was like, you know that it can't thunder without lightning, right? That thunder is the sound of lightning.
What is it? She didn't know that thunder was the sound of lightning. Stop! Just continue.
But I promise you, in my 35 years of living, I had never heard that. And I just need to know in the live chat right now if this is just.
Whoa! Yo, buddy! He's so retarded.
Just a girl
Are
thing.
black women
Means...
okay?
No.
Is it? It's not a. Is it a woman thing? I feel like most women have enough sense
in chat
to know that thunder and lightning are connected. Is it a black thing?
Well,
I don't know.
It's got it.
I think it's a dumb, retarded Candace Owens thing.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Buddy, this is actually the craziest shit we've ever heard. I think.
And I didn't know this. Or is this literally just me and Savannah are the only people in the entire world didn't know this? Or
she found another person who didn't know?
Yes, Savannah, her friend.
Is that a black woman also? Savannah.
Chat, press one if Savannah's black. Savannah's white. Savannah's white? What the?
Is this a woman thing? Ladies, come on.
Let me text her.
You're gonna do better, women.
Let me
do
text.
Like, what are we supposed to do? This is supposed to be a feminist show, but when you bitches do it like this, what are we supposed to do?
I don't even know what to say. I'm gonna double check here.
Everyone's
as I was
shaken to your core.
You know what though? You should be.
Yeah.
You should.
You should. What else doesn't she know?
And it was this morning learning.
Like what the?
That thunder is the sound of lightning. I don't know, guys. I have to just kind of share with you random tidbits of my life.
You're not going to make this easy. I don't know if I can stop you or not, but I can sure make things difficult if I choose to do so. From now on, I'm going to count down and I'm going to be on your case. Quite simple. Parker, you have yourself a good day.
Parker's opened the new cut without consulting his claim owner, Tony Beats. Now, Tony's found out and has come to test the cut Parker abandoned.
It's my job to check if he does it right, too. Like if he leaves it behind, that doesn't do us no good, doesn't do him no good either, right?
Tony gets a 15% cut of all of Parker's gold. Any gold Parker leaves behind is money out of Tony's pocket.
You see that? I'll be awfully mistaken if that isn't a piece of gold. Get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's leaving big money behind, really. I mean, not only that he loses that, but I lose that too. So that really is no joke. That pisses me off.
Tony confronts Parker.
Hey, Tony. What do you think about that?
Gold? Where's that from?
Out of your cut that's supposed to be finished?
Well, I was always planning to go back in there.
Whatever. I heard it was finished. But I'm really not impressed with it this morning. I'm really not. See? So get it fixed up. It's not a joke. Clean it up better. What do I have to do? Go through the other cuts too? No, it only takes me 2 seconds to figure that out. See? If I come back here after the weekend and some of these things ain't fixed,
Parker defies Tony and heads back across the river to mine Fantasyland.
I've got a plan, and we need to stick with it.
what's the point of leasing ground if I can't mine it the way I want to? Don't lease ground to somebody that you don't think is going to get the gold out of the ground.
Parker cleans up gold from a 1,000-yard run of Fantasyland dirt.
Marky.
Boris Karloff.
Marky.
Boris Karloff. That's a great reference. You know, Kumi, I think
Marky, are you still with that?
references are from 30 years ago.
Hold on,
I just
Alma.
trying to update the hard
Hold
drive.
on. Marky, are you still with that anti-Semitic Missy B, you dumb fuck?
Boris Karloff. They sewed an ass on Frankenstein's chest. You idiot? Nobody knows what the fuck that is.
On Frankenstein's chest.
Oh
my God, you're showing your age.
Anthony, can you
that ass on your chest, Alma?
Anthony, can you clarify? Anthony, can you clarify the Vine account? Can you clarify the 6 times you were caught? You were caught DMing a 12-year-old, a 13-year-old, a 14-year-old, a 15-year-old, and then when you got caught doing it, you tried.
Ice is like a foot of ice. Bastard.
Aboard the illusion lady.
So it'll be a mile, 1 mile, and then we'll start setting. I went so far north. Right now, Russian waters is off my starboard side, just under 2 miles. We were seeing a lot of good sign in this depth curve, so I took the gamble, packed it up, ran up north. It'll be nice to get our pops moved over here and get some breathing room instead of being limited by thousands of pots fighting to catch the same crab I want to catch. The more I go into it, the more spray that gets on the bow, the more ice I'm going to keep building and make more work for the guys and less sleep. I just need these pots off the boat as quick as we can, and then we'll be good to go. Drop it right when I buzz it. They're working for it out there tonight. This is not fun at all.
I got it. Hurry up.
All right, we're going to have a little gap here. We're going to turn and change angles and go straight into it. So you might get a little bit of spray. Roger! I'm building way too much ice on the port side right now. That's how boats roll over. So I got to correct my course a little bit so I don't have as much spray hitting me on the port bow. I mean, I'd love to see what's up there, but it's what I got to do.
How you feel? The ice on your face. Like on my upper lip.
Aboard the illusion lady.
Today is really cold. I mean, it is a lot colder than it was yesterday. All right, guys, here we go. First pop coming up. Let's rock and roll. Oh, come on, baby. Get us some good numbers. Yes. There's a kind of crab on the table. Make sure we're not putting any frozen crab in the tank.
It's rough right now. As the sun starts to go down, it's gonna get even worse. It's gonna get colder and colder.
We got crab in our pots. There's nobody else around, but down on the bottom of the ocean, it's 38 degrees Fahrenheit. Up on our deck right now, it's like -25. These crab have water in them. They live in water. So all that water on the outside freezes their gills, and it kills them.
With a bounty tantalizingly close, and not a single competing vessel in sight.
So everybody focus on getting crab in the tank. Once you guys start seeing crab freeze up, holler up.
Captain Rick must fathom a way to get his crab on board without killing them in the process.
Got a stopwatch going. Big, beautiful crab. A lot of them. Hope and pray we can get through all these crab before they start freezing.
We gotta get these crab off too. Yeah, look at this guy's already stiff.
2 minutes and 20 seconds. So 2 minutes and 20 seconds from the time that pot lifted out of the water till the time these crab are pretty much gone and dead. And they're not even a part way sorted through the table. We're done.
Roger.
It is so dang cold outside. We can't just sit and wait for 4 or 5 days. Hey, can you have Nico and Noah come up here?
Raj, thanks.
All right. So, doing it normally is not going to work. Crab are going to freeze. They're going to die. So, it's going old school. We take the table, put it up on top, and we go out of totes, power sorting, going through it as quick as we can. Deck hose going on them. That way they're getting a steady flow. I mean, I feel really confident those crab are going to last a lot longer.
I think we can give it a shot.
All right, guys. Thank you. All right, guys. First pot coming up. All right, pot in the block. Let's see what we get. Come on, guys, let's bust a move. Let's go. Roger. Hey. All right, let's do it. Watch out. Right now, every second counts. Every minute matters. Back up. Look at these bad boys. we're trying to keep the crab alive. We've had everybody sorting as soon as the pond is dumped. There are a lot of crabs to sort in a real quick manner.
They're still looking lively. They still look good.
Is it going to work? We're going to find out. You guys are doing a pretty damn good job of getting them over quick. 615. That's our first 600 in a while. Hell yeah.
Nice work, guys.
Gotta keep hustling. You gotta keep moving. If we can keep doing this, I mean, we'll get full here pretty quick. I want to be heading to Dutch. Can't afford to have dead loss because that's huge money. We're gonna find out.
Hello, Rumble. Remember us? We're back. We're back over here on Rumble.
Apparently, YouTube doesn't like it when they.
Yeah, we just got struck. So that stinks.
Yeah.
People are saying that the video is still up. Yeah, past as I warned them. Yeah, apparently I think it was the Ethan Ralph thing that got us booted. But you couldn't see anything. I just suggested that maybe something was happening.
Should I bail on the Carmick's getting his asshole eaten?
Yeah, that was going to be a great bet they were going to have, but I feel like that's a bad idea now. That sucks. That's my second strike. I'm one strike away now. That's not good.
Well, let me. I have a meeting later today. You know, one of our meetings.
Okay.
I'll ask my people if they can help out anyway.
Well, since we're over here on Rumble, I'll tell you that I'll be on Rumble with Vinny Paulino tonight. We're doing a brand new game show with Shuli and the gang.
That's right.
Do 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 do. I'm gonna shove around my chips. And I'll rebuy. And I'll rebuy. Jack, ace 10. Ace king. Fuck.
All right, welcome back. Weekend. Yeah. What? I didn't know this was going in the show. Number one, a bird landed on you. Yeah, a parrot, a macaw landed on me. I was chosen, divinely protected, downtown St. Pete. So you were walking, and then he came and landed on your shoulder. Yeah. And then the handler came and apologized profusely. Yeah, the handler was like, "Oh my God, so sorry." Apparently, they exercise these macaws in St. Pete. They like take them out, they let them fly laps, and one of them landed on me. The guy came over, hustled, he apologized, but I said, "It's okay, I like it." And you didn't see it coming. It landed on you from behind. Yeah. Now I was telling Rapway, you could have slammed it. Yes. It could land on your shoulder. You can go, "What was that?" And just slam it down. Because it's not your fault. You didn't see what it was. You shouldn't be touched.
Well, better hope stuff anyway.
Let's do this. Keep it low. Keep it low. Keep it low. Keep it low. Fuck.
Michelle Obama
wilding out. Michelle Obama wilding out.
That doesn't even
apply to what we're saying.
And then Chad going 2 for 2. Abraham Lincoln is rolling in his grave. Calverton's has a theory that they were wearing short shorts, so that might have set them off. And Hamilton Burger, chimps and teens. There was jerking off on both sides of the glass. You know, that right there so far is the comment of the day. The only thing that would have made it better is if you put, I don't know, $5, $10, $20 to it. But still, really good comment. Really good comment.
By the way, I cannot believe how much money rolled in from the Kevin Brennan episode. Thank you, Kevin, so much. Kevin, you're a good egg. You are a good egg. God damn it.
I know I said I don't care about these kind of things, but because he cares so much, I had to check. He did a 5.5-hour show that day, and we made $20 more than he did.
Uh-oh. Hey, how you like that? Them apples for one day. We were better than you.
Yeah, but that was the only day. We also made a ton of money last week, by the way, probably because Lucy was on.
Make sure you give it to those folks. I mean, don't give that money to me.
Who am I giving it to?
You give it to Lucy and Ethan.
I don't know. We'll see about that. Maybe I'll just keep it all for myself since you could. It'll feel better.
I did a whole bit today on my show about how much work you do for the show and how little I do.
You do the heavy lifting because you're much you're much sharper than I am, you know, and you're much quicker to generate hateful comments. I need to craft them the day before and write them out on a big key card, otherwise I forget how to say them. And Calverton's is right. Show me the numbers. Show me the money. And by the way, Ohio Dave, I think you actually might be right. He did make $20 more than Brendan on that, but that's all right. So if we're seeing animals, then this is kind of nightmare fuel stuff. I feel like stuff like this happens at probably every fast food restaurant, but you don't want to see it.
Discovery forced the fast food restaurant to shut down. 3 rodents were spotted at the McDonald's location in Dinuba. This video was shared by ABC30 insider Jesse, and he says the footage was taken inside the Walmart Supercenter where the restaurant is located, and that's on Almonte Way and Alta Avenue. Action News reached out to the Walmart location about the alarming incident.
And they said it's unacceptable, and we'll fix it, until it happens again. I mean, the thing about this is a high-profile McDonald's. McDonald's inside of Walmart. Yeah. So everybody's eyes are on what's going on there.
Of course. Yeah, that's a tough one to get out of. I mean, as soon as you see the rodents there, that means it's a pain in the ass. The goddamn
So Ohio Dave says he puked in his mouth, and Chad's missing upper lip does point out a McDonald's inside a Walmart isn't clean. No shit. And the great Vinny Carlino, you got to give it up for Vinny Carlino. Vinny Paulino's here in the chat. He says, "Hey, I thought we nuked this channel." Carl successfully appealed.
He did appeal, and thank God. And which the whole idea that there's someone at YouTube you can call, which I guess there's like a person you can talk to that Shuli is like personal friends with because his show's been whacked so many times that he like tipped Carl off. What a unbelievable! What a last second save that is.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And by the way, Calverton says those were chicken nuggets that escaped. So anyway, thank you. But yeah, like this was just horrifying to see. But a much more fun animal interaction happened down under in Australia.
But have you ever seen two koalas square up? The very heavyweights were spotted on a roadside, locked into what looked like a sumo wrestling match. The two combatants brawled for a couple of minutes on the Victorian street before calling it quits and climbing back up a gum tree.
That looks like that high school wrestling, you know, the collegiate wrestling.
Where they wear like the headgear.
Yeah, it's actual wrestling where they're checking each other's oil and other shit like that, and there's some fucking dad screaming at them.
Do you think that they were fighting? Because I mean, this kind of looked like me and my high school girlfriend on prom night. Yeah,
it is. You would wrestle your high school girlfriend on prom night? Were you like trying to hold her down?
I mean, I might have. You know,
God, I had no idea you were a rapist.
No. I think we were just roughhousing, and accidentally, something might have slipped in. Vinny Paulino, Shuli knew a Shuli. That's exactly what it is. The Shulis can get together. And Spaz Cat, great to see you. Hey guys, we appreciate that. I don't even know what that means. Last girlfriend didn't wrestle. She knew karate.
Okay. Yeah, it's a racist joke.
You wouldn't have liked her, Chad. She was Jewish.
When was your first Asian girlfriend?
That's a great question. The year 2000. Yes.
Did she become your wife?
No.
Oh.
I met my wife in 2004.
Yeah, you sampled the fortune cookie. You were ready.
She was Japanese. Half, actually.
Ow.
Yeah. We're learning some important things about each other. Now, what I want to make sure is that I'm not wrong about this. I shared a couple clips with E-Rock and Lucy last week, and they hated my girlfriend, Carissa Codell. And I want to see her latest video. You tell me if she's still got it easy, or if maybe I'm just blinded by, how I'm down with the thickness. And you can tell me that maybe we need to take a break from her.
The internet.
Oh.
Every single week, I was like, what now? What now? Opened up the Fictionary, and every page had a picture of you. Happy International Women's Day to me. Yeah.
Okay, so the Fictionary, this again shows, so she is on a network affiliate in the Ozarks in Missouri, and she reads basically, this is like Jimmy Kimmel's mean tweets.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Fictionary? Is it worth continuing on the video?
I think she's jumped the shark. She looks good.
No.
I like her appearance. I like her spirit. She's nice. Yeah. But the other thing that stands out to me is the difference in her speaking voice to her puker broadcast voice.
Yeah.
It's a little bit disconcerting to me that it's such a deliberate focus style.
Yeah, I think she was known for that voice first, so then she figured it.
Dan, we love you, man. We appreciate you.
I've seen that movie in the unedited form.
Really?
Don't lie.
I was a teen in the 90s. I was a teen in the 90s.
Yes, you were. Yes, you were. And we got a chance to see it. If there was a ball around, you were certainly going to try to break something.
Dude, this place is the best, man. I would literally live here.
Oh, there's something to say about that. We appreciate you coming out here, Dano. Let's head back into Shefty. Oh, there's a photo I was just shown of the guy that I certainly probably saw others.
Yeah.
You know,
Football guy.
Just absolutely through and through.
That's the other reason the Lions fans are pissed, because they're just coming off of a short ball guy with Timmy Horton, who did not do well calling plays last year.
Johnny Mole.
Johnny Horton. Okay.
That was an interesting move, though, MCDC picking up the play calling duties while that guy's still there.
Yeah.
And then saying, just watch me, right? And then saying, I was with Ben Johnson, too. What are we even?
I believe the first game he picked it up was against the 32nd ranked defense.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and they hummed 50 of them.
Yeah, it was a good play. He was doing his best.
Scored on every possession that game, actually.
Okay, so let's talk about the current salary cap situation for teams. You know, because we already talked about who spent. Let's see who still has money to spend at this point. Now, remember, you can get good deals right now. Guys can get $4 or $5 million deals, and really do some damage for the team. Still up over 90 million, 80 million there, and the Buffalo Bills $10 million. They signed Connor McGovern to a deal. He'll be joining us in the next hour.
Okay.
Obviously, he's excited. I think they watched the program up there, so I think he's pumped. He just got paid very well. Then you got some of these teams down here at the bottom that are trying to do some work to get back on the other side. We assume they're going to be quiet. We have no idea how the Carolina Panthers still have money to spend after what they did yesterday. Surprising big winners, Carolina Panthers yesterday. And I guess we should have expected them to kind of go for it, especially with what we learned from David Tepper ownership when he stopped by the show on Radio Row. It's like he will leave no stone unturned trying to win. And it's like some of the scenes we've seen in the past that have painted him in a light of like, is that what an NFL owner is supposed to act like? He goes, can I get my side? Can I say my side? These guys were disrespecting my family.
He got a hurt player on the field.
He gave an entire thing. It's like, oh, okay, not that bad. He's gone hands off because he trusts Dan Morgan, I believe, and Canales. And I believe there's another person down there. Shregs, who's the other guy down there in Carolina that did a bunch of work for them yesterday?
Brent Tillis is his name. He was the cap guru in Kansas City. They brought him over to Carolina 2 years ago, and he interviewed for the GM job. Dan Morgan got the job, but they still brought him in another role, an advisory role. And Brent Tillis is like a wizard with the numbers. So they got the Chiefs' top cap guy, and they brought him to Carolina, and the last 2 off seasons have crushed it.
Yeah, and I think they were able to spend a shit ton of money and make some plays that nobody expected them to. Devin Lloyd, obviously, and Jalen Phillips going to the Carolina Panthers. They got Bryce Young on the offensive side, and they sold that stadium out for a playoff game.
Yeah,
Feels like they're back to life. That's good news for ball as a whole. The Philadelphia Eagles sitting there with $13 million. Their cabinets got kind of raided.
Yeah.
They kind of, people just kind of going after it. And then there was a little bit of rumbling about maybe a trade along the D line, but anything is possible, I guess, at this moment, especially for anybody that doesn't have a lot of cash, and restructuring of contracts. We're in that season here as well, as teams are going to have to get under the number. San Francisco 49ers with $20 million, they're still making plays.
Yeah.
What a signing yesterday, Mike Evans. I mean, that was a magical moment here. We go over to Shregs over in free agency fun friend zone over there, and he goes, Mike Evans is moving soon. He's not going back to the Bucs. And then bang, Shefty tweet. He's going to the San Francisco 49ers. What a gigantic move yesterday by the Niners D-Bud. I don't think we've talked about that nearly enough.
Yeah.
Mike Evans no longer a Buck headline. Mike Evans now a part of the 49ers offense. Crazy to think about the opportunities and expectations.
Yeah, when we were talking about it, we said if you're going to leave a place that you've been so long, you have so much history, you're probably going to go somewhere that's established that should be a contender. And you obviously look at the teams, you look at the quarterbacks. So you have Brock Purdy, you got a great play caller, head coach for Kyle Shanahan. This is a team that can get there, that can get over the hump. And we talked about with Devontae Adams, the difference he made with the Rams and Matt Stafford. I don't know how many 1-yard touchdowns he had last year, but once you get to that low red area, with this guy, it's a mismatch. It's a slant fade. You can almost know the route, but as a corner, as a DB, it's tough for you to get in between the quarterback and this receiver right here, 13. He's been doing this for a long, long time. A Hall of Fame when it's all done. This is a great move by the San Francisco.
Yeah, we talked about, we gave a comparison of Devontae Adams, I believe is what Dano brought up whenever you talk about Mike Evans for that San Francisco 49ers offense. Gronkowski was another one. Whenever you're down in the red zone, you just kind of flank him out one-on-one. What are you going to do? With Kay, he has the best get-off, so he's got a two-way go on somebody, so Matthew Stafford knows he's going out there. It's almost a guaranteed touchdown. Gronkowski was unblockable. If he thought he could shake you, he'd go outside. If he wanted to just box you up, he'd do that, and Tom Brady would hit him. What has happened now is Brock Purdy gets his own version of that, right? Yeah. Is kind of what everybody's thinking with Mike Evans, because he's unguardable if he goes in or out. And if it's out on an island, I mean, it feels like that's a touchdown. Tay had 10 touchdowns last year inside 5-yard line, which obviously led the NFL, might be the best in the history. It's like, if that's all he does
seriously
for the Niners, that would be a massive, massive signing for their team to go on a run, let alone all the other shit of him taking the top off so George and everybody can kind of eat up underneath. Let alone Christian McCaffrey. You have to have a box. It's like Shanahan has to be dreaming that Mike Evans is a 49er. And I don't know, did any of us expect him to leave? I did not expect him to leave the Bucs. I thought this was a Larry Fitzgerald situation.
Yeah, exactly. I think the assumption was just him and Godwin and Baker were going to ride it out until the end, especially when Cade Otton, who was their free agent tight end, ended up going back. It was like, okay, they're getting the band back together. That's going to happen. But even with Mike Evans in San Francisco, we talked about earlier how big Pittman is, losing him just in the wide receiver room. Like, Mike Evans getting in there and helping out Ricky Pearsall. Ricky Pearsall really hasn't had like a veteran presence in the wide receiver room. So even the knowledge he'll be able to pass on to help those other guys out. Not to mention, they only really have two wide receivers out there because Kittle and Juszczyk are on the field so much with McCaffrey too. Like the 49ers might be all the way back, but I did see a lot of people making a lot of jokes about the substation of Mike Evans' hamstring.
I did. I saw a lot of the internet's going to let their jokes fly. That's what they're going to do. But ladies and gentlemen, Chef, did you tweet day 2 of free agency frenzy? Zane Gonzalez, 1-year deal with the Miami Dolphins. Mike McCartney said, Adam, fucking run it. Zane Gonzalez going to Miami. Gumpy's in the back, grinning like the butcher's dog. D-Butt, this is something you said has to get done for the Dolphins.
Yeah, Zane was on the top of my big boy. This is the guy who is here. Fixes his hair like.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. That's the guy. Attention to detail.
Yeah. Riley Patterson's also gone, I guess. He was 27 and 29 last year. So, yeah, this is good.
Yeah, and I think it was like 10 or plus 50 or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't want to
I trust Sully.
What is Sully doing, man?
I trust Sully and Lin Ben.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Sully and who?
Lin Ben.
Minority owner of the Miami Dolphins, bought a 1% stake of the Miami Dolphins at $175 million.
His fingerprints are all over it.
Lin Ben bought into F1 as well down there in Miami, and all the other things that he bought into made us realize maybe Stephen Ross doesn't care about the Dolphins. Yeah. Maybe all the other things are doing really well, and if Lin Ben's buying in at 1% for $175 million for a team that hasn't won a Super Bowl since when, Gumpy? 1970 what?
2 perfect season.
3.
What? That was the year of the Super Bowl? Or the season?
No, 73. We won back to back. 72, 73.
Oh, perfect season. Then you guys had a blemish, but you still won a Super Bowl. So since 1973? I love the Dolphins, man.
When's the last time a playoff game was won?
25 years ago.
Ladies and gentlemen, giving us more details. Maybe on this deal. I don't know how they got to this. Zane, known to be a tough negotiator. Mike McCartney, forget about it. Yep. He'll throw the pen down in the middle of all negotiations. You want to dot I's, cross T's? He said, I don't have a pen. How are we dotting anything? That's what Mike McCartney does. So the fact they're able to get a deal done is magical. Let's go over to Adam Schefter. What's cooking, Adam? What is happening in this free agency frenzy?
Well, you were talking about the Niners, and I think that there was a feeling in Tampa along with all the young wide receivers that he was going to leave. And I think the 49ers set their sights on him, and they were haggling over the contract. You put up the guarantee or the money, 3-year deal worth up to $60.4 million. That was really for cap purposes. It's more like a 1-year deal that includes $16.4 million of guaranteed money. 16.4. So even though the numbers are advertised bigger, come in bigger, it's really a smaller deal for Mike Evans, who felt like it was ready. It was time to move on, try something new, operate in a new offense. We've seen the kind of success that it could have for other receivers later in their career, and I think he just wanted to try something new. Going to San Francisco with the 49ers substations, that's new, but they believe they'll be able to fit him into the offense. They'll be a major factor as we continue to await the latest kicking and punting news here in the cool headquarters where the Wi-Fi is working tremendous.
Okay, you got good Wi-Fi today. Maybe it's not as much action. Maybe that's potentially
Quieter.
why.
It's quieter.
Yeah,
It's a bit quiet.
You knew that was going to be. You knew that was going to be the case because how crazy yesterday was. And by the way, they kept score. You won yesterday.
Yeah,
Good job,
boy, Chef.
in a route. Yeah, you won. Congratulations. Hey, no big deal. Also, Max Crosby on Friday, but is that a part of this? I don't know. You tell me. You crushed it. We appreciate that. But you knew today was going to be a little quieter. It felt like as you came in here this morning.
I would say this: there was so much activity yesterday, and it was not considered a great free agent class. So when you take all the sizzle names out on the first day, and you have to wait for the quarterbacks like Kyler Murray and Geno Smith till later in the week, and we've already seen 10 trades made, how much more can you realistically expect on day 2? Like I said, there still are some really good players out there, and we're still waiting for some compelling deals. But the beat yesterday, that was an all-time day one. That was a crazy day one, about as crazy as you could have on the first day of free agency. And so it's hard to top that on day two.
Yeah, we enjoyed the hell out of yesterday, and we'll be excited to see what all comes about today. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Shefty, you keep bringing up Kyler and Gino. What about Kirk Cousins? What's his current market like? Is that maybe a situation I've heard potentially in Pittsburgh while they're waiting on Aaron? Is Kirk potentially a fallback? What have you heard the latest on Kirk?
Well, so, it's funny. I brought up Gino and Kyler, and I haven't brought up Kirk Cousins, and I haven't brought up Russell Wilson, and I haven't brought up Joe Flacco. There's a lot of quarterbacks out there, and there are only so many openings out there right now. Kirk Cousins will be released tomorrow by 4 p.m. Eastern. At that time, he'll become a free agent. It doesn't sound like he's in any rush to make a decision. We saw last year Phillip Rivers come in late in the year. Kirk Cousins can sit back, wait. He's made more money than anybody, and he doesn't have to be in any rush to go take a job. I don't think he's rushing out to Pittsburgh. Now, I will say this. If Aaron Rodgers decided all of a sudden not coming back to Pittsburgh, thank you very much, could I see Kirk Cousins coming to play as a potential option for the Steelers? Definitely, at that point in time. Do I think he's rushing into anything right now? Doesn't sound that way, but let's see how it shakes out.
Okay, so Kirk Cousins, what about Derek Carr? That came and went pretty quickly.
I haven't heard much chatter about that. Again, there would have to be a team that is willing to trade for him, and the Saints have continued to say that nobody's approached them about it.
Okay, so the Saints will keep us updated on Derek Carr market. Who knows who lands where? Because until Kyler's released tomorrow, Gino's released tomorrow, Kirk's released tomorrow, we have no clue who's heading where. Gino back to the Jets would be crazy.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That would be absolutely crazy. Schefter kind of alluded to that earlier. He's like, maybe the Jets are in the market there. Indianapolis Colts situation would be certainly something as we kind of try to figure out that. Gino or Kyler or Kirk or Derek.
Yeah.
If we can't get Daniel Jones, we'll do it again. Give us the Carson Wentz experience if need be, which might be happening for the New York Jets. So the quarterback kind of shuffling is fascinating. And I think it has a little bit more of a heightened attention or heightened excitement because we've seen these quarterbacks who've kind of been in places go and have massive success at other spots. Maybe they find their actual home where they're supposed to be, the places that they're supposed to go, let's say, eat dinner at and stay at home and train at is all in one place, and they find their best versions of themselves. Those are all possible with these guys, and I think that's why it's so exciting. But, man, it'd be great if they did that today. I don't like that they're holding on Kyler till tomorrow. What are we supposed to do today?
Yeah, well,
we're supposed to be super excited.
Speculate. Hard to be. Maybe they'll trade him, though. They won't, but maybe they will.
Well, Schefter said that's not going to happen.
But you never know.
But there is a chance. And they're like, well, why would they be doing Kyler any favors? It's like, what about football? What about us? What about football as a whole?
With the Jets and Gino, I believe the Jets have 3 first-round picks next year already. And there's a lot of people saying, like, if they want to get that number 1 overall, bring Gino, and he just did that for the Raiders.
Okay, so there's no reason for you to do that. He's a great West Virginia Mountaineer, and a lot of the interceptions that happened against Gino this year were plays of guys' careers. I'm talking from Little League, Pop Warner, high school, college, and NFL. Guys were swooping in like they were Troy Polamalu, getting the best picks they've ever had against Gino. He got unlucky this year. Feels like that entire team was maybe asked if he gets the right opportunity again. Maybe here in Indianapolis. Maybe back at the New York Jets. But on that note, 3 number 1s is what they made all the moves for. They have a lot of money. Everybody's entrusting that this group at the Jets is going to make the right decisions. I hope they do that because that'd be good for Jets fans. There's a lot of scary decisions that have already been made there, though, that make us wonder if they're going to be good decision makers. Hopefully they'll be able to do that. Let's head back to the free agency friend zone over there with the 2 fun guys, Dan Orlovsky and Pete Schrager. Orlovsky, what quarterback story is kind of most intriguing to you? Obviously, you told us about Kyler dropping into Kevin O'Connell's offensive system. Kyler, more of a freestyle guy. Kevin O'Connell's system, more locked in. Geno Smith heading into Frank Reich's potentially over there in New York for the Jets. Tua at Atlanta with Kevin Stefanski. What are the Malik in Miami? What are your new quarterback situations that are seemingly brewing? What are your thoughts on them? And who's not going to be ass, you think?
I'll start in Atlanta with Tua. I really believe that this was the right choice for both parties. The place in Tua, from Tua's perspective, the place in Atlanta, best offensive line Tua's ever played with. Not even close. And then they are loaded with talent. Obviously, Bijan, with London. They signed who's the receiver
Dotson.
from
Dotson.
the Philadelphia Eagles?
Jahan Dotson.
Correct. Thank you for that, Tone. So like, there's plenty of talent, and they've tagged Kyle Pitts. So I'm not telling everybody that this is going to be Sam Darnold in Seattle last year, but I do think that the conversation over the last 24 hours has been a little bit not real when it comes to Tua. 2 years ago, he was in the MVP conversation, led the NFL in passing. Definitely a decline, no doubt. But if they can find ways to kind of mesh the systems together, that's a big. I also think it makes sense for Atlanta. We have no idea what Michael Penix is going to be when he comes back, if he comes back, how it's going to operate, all that. Okay, I think it's let's figure out what we have at the quarterback spot this year, and if either of these guys blows our mind for Kevin Stefanski and Matt Ryan, great. If not, 2027. I think my attention right now is focused on probably some other places. Number one, Arizona. Arizona signed Gardner Minshew, no question. That's like a good backup role. But is Michael Jordan going to the first season as a head coach with just him? Are they a team that you pay attention to in the draft? Maybe? Are they going to try to move down in the draft and maybe be a guy for a play for a guy in the draft, a Ty Simpson, a Drew Aller, a Garrett Nussmeier, something like that? I'll bring this up to you. Honest, if you're the Indianapolis coach, what would you rather do? Chase after Kyler Murray for $1 million, $1.5 million, or be strangleholded by Daniel Jones and is good for 50+ million?
What's this guy? Who said 50 million?
Good question.
I don't need you rear naked choking my opinions and thoughts right now in this free agency frenzy.
What would you rather do?
So,
Put it in a top spot.
Dan, is that real? Who are you reading? Is this somebody? I got fake news garage. Fake news garage. Some troll making this up that they wanted 50 million, or did they tell you exactly that Daniel Jones is looking for 50 million plus a year because of what happened coming fresh off a broken leg on one side and a torn Achilles on the other side, and we don't know when he's going to be healthy.
I'm just saying it's an interesting situation. I don't know. I've not heard 50 million and whatnot, but I do think the reports that they offered him something similar to a Sam Darnold deal,
which was 3 for $100. I do believe if you go back and do the math, the transition tag here that he's on is like 36.8, so it's actually a little bit more. Maybe if they did offer them a Sam Darnold deal, but once again, we don't know what's real and what isn't real. Both teams and agents are trying to get numbers out there, you know, to try and in between our rooms. You know what I mean? They're trying to say, Chef is in this. He can't hear shit right there. He can't hear anything. Chef can't hear anything. They don't tell me anything. They don't tell me anything. But there's always news getting sent out for different reasons. If Daniel Jones is able to get like a 3-year, $150 million deal to play quarterback, I will be so happy for him. I'll be so happy for him. Now, I don't think that's feasible for the Colts to do, especially after what we just did for Alec Pierce and what we're going to have to do for Jonathan Taylor and all these things. And was Daniel Jones the only one who really brought us happiness and excitement? Yeah. So is that the right decision? I don't know. But to your point, if we can get Kyler in that Shane Steichen offense,
Him and JT in the same backfield.
and it's $1 million, I want Daniel Jones. Please. Final answer. Broken leg, torn Achilles, and all. He's playing with broken legs.
Still breathing.
And he said, why did he tear his Achilles? Well, I had broken fucking legs.
They were 8-2. They were 8-2 at the time.
So let's call it Thanksgiving world. I mean, what is it? We saw that Kirk Cousins, but now I think Daniel's probably 6 years younger than when Kirk did it, but.
Think about anybody else's interest. Not even Israel's. He thinks about his own interest. He's a war criminal. He's indicted. He needs this to go forever. He's a megalomaniac. And they admit Israel went to.
Someone getting sentenced in a Dwight Howard case has set the internet on fire. And now, with his wife in tears on camera saying CPS took her daughter, and allegations of a cocaine problem, the question everyone is asking is whether Dwight Howard is done for good. So let's look at everything.
Man, I want to back to bring good content. I got something for you.
All right.
I
Millions. I think both of you should start doing live social shopping.
Oh,
do you guys know about this?
This makes it sound hateable.
You guys have crushed hateability already. You're good. You're over the line on that.
All I listen to is Gary Vaynerchuk.
Gary Vaynerchuk?
Vaynerchuk inspires me so good, dude.
He is the foremost thinker of the
one of the foremost thinkers of our generation.
Who do you love the most in the world? My family. Good. Who in your family? Pick one. All of them. Every day, like literally once a day, genuinely sit there for 5 minutes and pretend one of them got shot in the face.
Well, I have a joke about him. I made a little video about him because some of the things he tweets like kindness is delicious. Come on, what are we doing? And so you can say it or you can do it, but I highly recommend you do both. I'll do it. I'll say it and I'll do it.
Well, yeah, if you get the chance, YouTube or get on Facebook and look at Gary Vaynerchuk, I think.
Yeah, Gary Vaynerchuk.
Arguably the biggest douche I've seen in a long time.
So Gary Vaynerchuk, also known as Gary V, just appeared on the We Might Be Drunk podcast with Mark Normand and Sam Morrell, and this is one of the biggest L's I've seen a comedy podcast take in a while, because having Gary V on your show, unironically, is like watching a Joe Rogan comedy special for the laughs. For those of you who don't know who Gary V is, he's basically the guy who built a multi-million-dollar empire out of telling people to stop being lazy and then selling them courses on how to stop being lazy. He's the king of motivational platitudes, the type of guy who tweets things like greed is good and I'm going to suffocate all your bullshit excuses, and somehow he has millions of people.
I am in Da Nang, and I am staying a block off My Key Beach. I'm probably saying that wrong because Americans know it better as China Beach. China Beach was where the American service people used to take their R&R. Da Nang is also the very first place that American troops landed and established themselves in Vietnam. And it was a TV show in the 80s that, as a teenager, I watched religiously with Dana Delaney, who I thought was the sexiest thing in the world. And like all of that boomer Vietnam content of that era, which was generally being made by people who had been against the war in their youth, they still could not think it through to the point to censor the experiences of the Vietnamese and their suffering. So, like all of that stuff, these were mostly about the psychological toll that committing a genocide took on the Americans. And the Vietnamese are there to facilitate the psychological and emotional journey of these Americans committing war crimes. So yeah, you think the boomers are bad now? It's very sad to me when Gen Xers, when we get lumped in with our parents. You think it's bad now? We had to grow up with them at the height of their power, in their prime, at their maximum size as a generation, in their 30s and 40s, completely dominating the culture. It was basically 10 years of Woodstock nostalgia and Vietnam obsession.
In the late 60s and early 70s, everything around us was changing. How we looked, how we dressed, how we felt, how we thought.
So to actually be at China Beach is pretty incredible. I will also say this is the first place I've been. I heard a lot of Americans are moving here. I heard a lot of expatriates are moving here. This is the first place I've been that I'm really seeing a lot of expatriates and the businesses set up to accommodate them. Like I went to breakfast, all the chairs had power outlets, and you had a bunch of people with their laptops and their tablets open. There's the beach there, by the way. American, which, honestly, this part of the world, you don't see that many Americans. They're not that adventurous, but hey, if you like the beach town thing, so far. I've only been here for a day. It seems very nice. It's kind of like Sydney or LA, but without the assholes. So I could definitely see the attraction. It's like a beach town without assholes. But very, very geared towards Westerners. A lot of Western style brunch places. A lot of coffee shops. Like, it's definitely geared towards tourists and expats from what I can see so far. The main attraction.
we're in trouble.
Decisions are being made.
I can't walk.
Hearts are about to be broken.
And we try, and sometimes we fail, right?
I don't even think counseling could fix that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the FEDP ASGB ASWOW HCCB WDT. No. I nailed it. I nailed it. The first ever Dude Perfect All Sports Golf Battle alternate shot with our wives. Holy cow. Can't believe we're doing this. Here we go.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the #1 golf destination in the country, Bass Pro Shops Big Cedar Lodge at the brand new Cliffhangers course, and we're ready for some all sports golf.
This course is unbelievable.
This is going to be a fun day, guys. Here we go.
Don't fart.
Oh, I'm not. I'm doing Bass Pro logo.
Today's all sports format will be alternate shot featuring Cody and Allison, Garrett and Kristen, Corey and Amy, Kobe and Aubrey, and Tyler and Bethany. And I'm Sparky, and I'll be your commentator.
You guys missed just an absolute gold moment. Their ball falls off.
Oh no, they lost the ball.
Can somebody help, please? Oh, you have got to be kidding me. Kicks it off the cliff.
I mean, she just rocket launched that ball over the top.
Well, I was feeling good about our chances. Climbs and scales the cliff, grabs the ball, brings it back. Everything's fine. Let's have a day. You ready?
Shit.
Come on, babe. Do this.
We use any tool we want. My husband just leaves me.
Full bag today. Lots of items to go through. We got the Vortex football. Putting with the hockey stick today. Once you use it, you lose it. And if you actually lose it, you'll lose it. It's gone. Probably not coming back.
Cliffhangers #8, our first hole. I hope you brought the popcorn, because it's about to get tasty.
Team Green setting the tone for the entire competition with the first tee. And that is why we have elected to have Bethany start off with the Vortex.
Oh, am I talking?
I'll throw the Vortex. Here we go.
Good Vortex, a little short, but on dry land. Tyler Tony with a tone-setting Vortex.
Right on the grid. That's fairway. You won't go baseball. You won't go baseball. I was leaning on a bow and arrow. What do you think? And then you putt.
I don't think I can putt or throw.
Well, you're going to have to do one of the two.
You just throw it as hard as you fart.
What? Give him something else. Give him something else right now.
I don't even think counseling could fix that.
Say, run up and shoot it. Yes.
Yeah. He's going to Happy Gilmore a bow. And that is so far gone.
Babe, we're in trouble.
That's in the Wichita Mounds.
We actually have to play it where it lies because we are not taking a penalty. I love this. We're doing another one. We're only 2 shots in and we're doing another one.
What's up, guys? You're probably wondering, Corey, why are you wearing pink? It's because I'm done with yellow. Ladies and gentlemen, the yellow era is over. It's time for Team Pink.
Corey, not scared, rocking a new pink.
This looks great. Got a chance, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, my little smooch on the lips.
Come back and I'm squeezy.
That's what you do when you celebrate, Ty.
I have a left-handed bow. Hey, you don't want to go with something else? Oh, I'm not going.
Kristen Hilbert is about to bow up here on #1. I was wondering which wife would be the first one to break the ice. It's going to be Kristen Hilbert here.
Pull back.
Kristen pulls back.
Send it.
Yeah, send it, girl.
Send it. Oh, good.
Good job, Kristen. Kristen, that was really impressive.
Will there be a post-throw smooch from this cotton?
Vortex pickleball.
Right, we're just here for fun, so it's okay.
A release, and he pulled it left. He pulled it left. Gonna need some help from the hill, which he does.
That's perfect.
Pretty
That's
good.
perfect.
I'll take it. So what are we thinking?
I need to see where you're at, but I don't hate a volleyball.
Feeling pretty good after the first shot. We are the closest to the hole if you're into that kind of thing. Hey, it's a new era.
First to act is going to be Aubrey and Kobe, I believe.
Oh, yes.
Babe, this is so good.
Yeah?
I got to try in front of the T-ball.
I mean, it would have been a little better if it was down there.
And Aubrey, here she goes.
So
Pickleball,
good, honey.
front of the green. A nice bump and run technique.
Good job, Aubrey.
Hey, great shot.
Yeah, foxtail. I think I'm gonna try to get it over the sand, then we'll land short.
Ooh, the foxtail from Gary.
You got this. Nice, Garrett. That's perfect.
Garrett Hilbert lays it in within about 10 feet. Okay, next to Ack will be Allison. What a horrible husband play.
Kobe saw it down here on the cliffs. I think I see the flexion of the arrow. Here's the arrow. It went way further than I thought it would. I'm thinking Allison goes with a...
I can't volley.
Would you rather throw vortex? You pick.
Can I like bump it?
The Jones crew, an indecisive bunch, let me tell you.
Alright, I'm gonna throw the vortex.
Left-handed, here we go!
This is the first time I ever thrown a vortex in my life.
She's never thrown a vortex! You got this! We're not in the lead, but we are in the battle.
Red team's still alive.
All right, I think Bethany's going to go pickleball here.
Bethany Tony, a pickleball paddle in hand. She bumps it, she runs it, and Bethany Tony should be pleased with this. This is going to funnel towards the cup. Look at this! Are you serious? They're smooching. I'm celebrating. And I love all sports golf battle. Well done, Green.
I'm so proud of you. That was a special moment right there. And they shared a special moment afterwards. It was wonderful. All right, I'm up.
With a violent swing of the stick.
Pretty good.
Not too bad. That thing's going to come back home. Whoa, well gauged. A great lag putt by Cody. And Allison's going to have a 2-footer for a 4.
Wow, great putt by Cody. These guys came to play today.
The sun is out. The spotlight on Kobe.
Oh, that's fast. That's fast.
This has a chance. Nope, it's a little speedy. Hit a house. Hit a house.
It's too much.
This is not good.
And just like at home, Kobe not fooling his weight. Aubrey gonna have to clean up the mess.
Goodbye, arrow. Hello, golf ball. Big moment.
Wow, Amy, no hesitation. Lets it rip. This is a really good line.
That's not a gimme for Corey, though.
A side hug? That's all he provides is a side hug after that shot?
I'm so proud of you.
Hey, she's not on your team. You're not proud of her.
I'm so proud of her.
A very tough 7-footer coming.
Oh.
She taps it.
Oh, more sriracha needed. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You're so mad.
You're so mad.
All balls within 5 feet. We're going to let the close ones putt out.
Oh, we just did it.
Safely onto hole 2. A 5-footer. She takes the stick back, lets it rip, and just missed it. A cup left. Really good putt.
Really good. I got the next one. Here he goes, folks. This is what he lives for.
With a successful putt here, he's through to the next hole, and he got it. He got it. He holsters the stick.
We're moving on, baby. We're moving on. Well done. The stage is set. If Allison makes this, Aubrey and I are eliminated from this very fun game. Allison, I believe in you.
Here she goes for the win.
That's right. Yeah. Look, hey, we're going to get in. We're going to get in now. Kobe has to make to force a playoff.
He and Aubrey's all sports life depends on this putt.
I can't walk.
Kobe gets low. Will they live to see a playoff hole? In the blue team, Kobe and Aubrey have been eliminated.
I got the next one.
All right, sad to see Kobe. We're really only sad to see Aubrey go. Kobe, he'll be fine. On to the next hole. Here we go. How could you not love this? Waterfalls, cliffs. Bass Pro, well done as usual. We still have bow and arrow. I feel like you could shoot the bow pretty far.
Yeah, I can do that.
Oh, that was nerve-wracking.
So we play again, and 1 couple's done, and then 3 couples in the last hole.
Yep. Mark my words. We're coming back next year with a vengeance. Just now seeing the next hole. It's cliffs.
It looks intimidating.
All right, welcome to the second hole. Or you know what? You do the intro.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Welcome to the second hole.
Take fun. This is a work day. Let's get it done, baby.
Just having a good time. Just here for the views. We're at Bass Pro. Big Cedar. This is fun.
Let's do it!
It's so
Viral. Gary's gonna like that. See how it's aimed right there at that last trap?
Like over it.
Yep. That's where you're going to want to be aimed.
I'm not standing there.
Here we go.
Not shabby whatsoever. A little short of the bunker, but in play.
It went in the air. I don't know. We can't see it. It was a little right. That's great. That's why I said left. That trap on the left.
I tried.
I know. And we try, and sometimes we fail, right?
I thought I did as good as I could.
You could do better.
Not bad.
All right, here we go. Team Pink ready to play.
All right, we decided to go volleyball. I teed off in the first hole. Amy's got this one. You got it, girl. We need to play it safe that way, okay? The only thing we can't have is straight off the cliff. Oh no! Stop! Only thing we can't have is straight off the cliff. Oh no! Oh no!
Look, it's not done. It's not done. Cliffhanger living up to its name. Because that thing's hanging off a cliff.
Yeah, it's a bridge ball!
It's not done.
It's a bridge ball! Settled on the bridge! That is going to be a difficult second shot!
I'm gonna kick this ball.
You're left-footed.
We're going to set you up here. And I want
think
you to
I'd rather hold it.
You totally got this.
Nope, we're switching back. Okay. Great! That's great! Oh, it slipped!
We'll take it for a little foxtail on the green. Okay, they were not joking about the whole cliffhanger's name. Did you bring your rock climbing gear?